All right. Good morning, everybody. We are back, and for a very good reason. So, yesterday, spent a lot of time talking about the supposed EV mandate, whether there actually was one, whether the executive orders signed on day one of the Trump administration got rid of the EV mandate. There is no EV mandate. Technically, there is an EV mandate effectively, and we're about halfway to it going away. If you want to know more, go back to yesterday's episode, cover that. Today, we're going to talk about the EV tax credit because a lot of rumors and myths and misinformation started to leak out really the last couple of months in the run-up to the inauguration. And then I heard some of the same things repeated yesterday by some people that, you know what, normally know better, normally have a little bit better track record with information. And they were coming to you and saying certain things. And I know if I'm hearing them on their channels, you likely are too. Saying that the EV tax credit is done, that in some cases the EV tax credit is already gone. That is not correct. The EV tax credit is very much still intact and still available to you, and probably will be for quite some time. And the biggest differentiator between the EV mandate, the sales target that was done away with through executive order, and the EPA guidelines around fuel economy standards, all that, the main difference between those things and those actions and the EV tax credit is that Congress passed the EV tax credit. Okay? Back in 2022, they extended the EV tax credit. They actually expanded it through legislative action. Right? They passed a bill that authorized the tax credit of $7,500, guidelines around it, and then they turned over the final rules to the IRS. Okay, so the IRS spent months and months and months coming up with the final parameters and rules around applying for and getting the EV tax credits. Okay, so no, Trump can't, with an executive order, say that these are gone away. Now, what they could do over the next couple of months or year is they could tell the IRS to go and reevaluate, right, all of those rules. They could make them tougher to get. They could really restrict that. They're already pretty tough, to be honest. They're very convoluted. Just this in the last couple of days, Hyundai and Kia have started building 2 new EVs in Georgia, and they were supposed to be eligible for the tax credit. Now, just in the last 2 weeks, a couple of really smart people noticed on the IRS website that the Ioniq 5 and the Ioniq 9 are not showing up on that list, and reached out to Hyundai and Kia, and sure enough, there's something about the battery sourcing or the percentage of components that are going into the car, for whatever reason, in the first quarter, they're not eligible. Okay? So now they will be eligible once they get in line and they meet every single requirement for you to be able to get the tax credit for that vehicle. Vehicles are coming on and off the list based on those same rules from different manufacturers. It's not just a Hyundai Kia thing. Okay. Now, how can you get those tax credits? Well, in the case of new cars, you have to fall below a certain income threshold, depending on your tax filing status. You have to have a tax liability, and then the car has to be on the list. Okay. Same thing with the used tax credit, even more stringent income caps. And then there's more rules around how new the car has to be. It can only have had one previous owner. It has to fall below a certain pricing, and then you can get up to 30% of the value. 30% of the value of the car, up to $4,000 back. Alternatively, you can sign over that used vehicle tax credit to a dealer. So look, go out on the website, the IRS website. There's a couple others out there that explain all of this to you. I'm just telling you, tax credits are there. You need to know the rules to get them. And I don't think they're going away or changing anytime soon. That's going to take a while. You've got the automobile manufacturers associations and the different lobbying groups are very much in favor of keeping these in place, and they will do everything they can. If they can influence the administration in any way, they will do everything in their power to extend those and keep. There are manufacturers that, as their cars have come off of that tax credit list, all they've done is turn around and drop the price by $7,500. So that tells you that, they're pocketing that. right? If they can sell a car to you for $7,500 cheaper without the credit, then that means the credits have artificially inflated the market. That's not true for every manufacturer, but I've definitely seen it happen with some. Now, the alternative is if you don't qualify for any of those tax credits based on your income and based on sourcing of the car and all those things, you can lease. And if you lease an EV, which we have highly recommended on this channel because of the severe depreciation that happens in the EV space, okay, if you lease an EV, it really doesn't matter where that car is built, how much it costs, how much money you make, it will qualify for the $7,500. Okay, that's a carve out in the Inflation Reduction Act from 2022. Okay, so that becomes a really big tool for you getting a really good deal on a lease. If you can time it up right, you can find distressed inventory. The manufacturer is and their financing arm are essentially giving you the credit baked into the lease. It reduces your capitalized costs and it reduces your monthly payment. You can get some killer deals, especially if you live in a state that taxes EVs correctly, unlike Texas. And if you live in a state that has additional state rebates on leases, you can get $0 leases, $100 leases in places like Colorado, depending on the model. So the tax credit really does benefit you there. All right. So I just wanted to really pop on real quick. It hasn't gone away. It's still there. I hope you guys like the content. I come back either tomorrow or Friday and talk about where I think things go next for manufacturers, because things are changing really, really fast. Maybe it's too early to have that conversation, but I'm going to give you my thoughts on where I think we're headed. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Okay. 8 a.m., 8:30 on these morning commute videos. Today I got a little later start than normal. But thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, just appreciate all your support.